All right, strap yourselves in because today we're diving into some seriously big news about Christopher Nolan's next project.
Yeah, this is pretty huge.
So, it's official. His next film is tackling, get this, Homer's The Odyssey.
Wow.
And we all know Nolan. It's going to be anything but a straightforward
I
adaptation.
know, right? What's so interesting is how different this is from everything that was being said before the announcement.
Yeah, all those rumors.
Like vampires,
Mhm.
futuristic helicopter pilots, even Nolan directing a James Bond film.
It seems like everyone was trying to figure out his next move, but The Odyssey, no one predicted that.
I know, the Odyssey. So let's go over what we know for sure. Universal Pictures has this coming out July 17th, 2026.
2026.
And they're already talking up the brand new IMAX film technology.
Oh, yeah, that. Knowing Nolan, that could be anything from some crazy visuals to a totally new way to like experience a movie.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time he's messed with how we watch movies.
Right.
Like that spinning hallway fight in Inception. He did all that practically, no CGI.
Hmm.
Or the time stuff in Interstellar where you could like really feel every second.
Oh, I love that.
So when he promises some crazy new tech for the Odyssey, you know he's aiming for something really big.
He always does. And the cast he's put together for this is insane.
It really is.
Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Lupita Nyong'o, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, Charlize Theron. I mean, it's like a who's who of Hollywood.
The whole A-list.
Yeah.
And it's not just a bunch of famous names either. Look closer, and you'll see he's worked with some of these actors before.
Oh, you're right.
Damon, Hathaway, Pattinson, they've all been in Nolan films before, which really says something about how they work together.
They must trust him a lot.
They must.
Totally. Hathaway in Interstellar was amazing. She brought so much emotion to that role.
He was incredible.
Can you imagine her bringing that same energy to Penelope? You know, Odysseus's wife, the one who waits forever for him to come home?
Oh, that's interesting. And that makes you think about how Nolan might change these characters. Will he stick to how we know them or put his own spin on them?
Yeah. And speaking of twists, Tom Holland, who's done some pretty big movies himself, actually said he signed on without knowing the whole story.
Wow.
That's some serious trust in Nolan's vision.
It really is. And it shows how much people want to work with Nolan, even if they don't know everything about the film.
Yeah, he's got that reputation. Right, so for anyone who needs a refresher, the Odyssey is about Odysseus, this Greek hero trying to get home after the Trojan War.
Right.
But it's not easy for him. He runs into all these mythical creatures, has to go through these crazy challenges, and fights his own demons along the way.
Inner demons, yeah.
We've seen other adaptations like the Coen brothers, Funny O Brother, Where Art Thou, and the more serious The Return with Ralph Fiennes.
Right. But with Nolan directing, we can expect something totally different. He loves complex stories, playing with time and how we see things, and he makes even crazy stories feel real.
He's good at that.
So the question is, how will he bring his style to a story that's been around for, like, thousands of years?
A story everyone already knows.
And that's where all those pre-announcement rumors get really interesting.
Oh, I know. Like that vampire movie idea from Gizmodo is supposed to be set in the 1920s. Imagine a dark, stylish vampire movie from Nolan.
I could see it.
Totally different from his usual stuff. And then there was that other rumor, the really detailed one about a helicopter pilot in the future.
Oh, yeah. Someone on Reddit said it was like Blue Thunder, and even mentioned places like Floyd Bennett Field and the NYPD Aviation Unit. They said people working on the film got copies of Blue Thunder instead of scripts.
Now that's wild. It's like those rumors were mini movies playing in our heads.
They were.
It really shows how much we love to guess what Nolan will do next.
And how much we try to find clues about his next project. It's like a game.
It is, kind
We're
of.
trying to crack his code.
Yeah, it really is.
And it shows how much he can keep us guessing, even when it's just rumors. But speaking of rumors, there was that whole James Bond thing.
Oh, yeah, the Nolan for Bond thing. For a while there, it seemed like everyone thought he was going to direct the next Bond movie.
It made sense, kind of.
It did, yeah. Nolan's films have that mix of action, mystery, and really interesting characters, like the Bond movies.
Exactly. Plus, he's a Bond fan himself.
He is.
Yeah. He once said directing a Bond film would be an amazing privilege. Something like that.
I remember that. Everyone got so excited.
They did. But as much as I think we all wanted to see his take on Bond, he said no to those rumors.
He did. Which takes us back to the Odyssey. It's a story that's been told and retold for ages, but what's really cool is thinking about how Nolan will make it his own.
I know, right.
I mean, we're talking about the director who gave us Inception with all that subconscious stuff, and Interstellar with like space and time bending,
Right, right.
and even Dunkirk, which was based on history but felt so personal and emotional.
It did.
So how will he bring that same vision to a story about, Greek mythology? We're talking about Cyclops, sirens, trips to the underworld. It's a lot different from Memento or
Oh, it's
Interstellar.
different.
And that's what makes this so exciting. The Odyssey is like a brand new playground for Nolan.
It is, yeah.
He can explore ideas about what it means to be human, the mystery of the unknown, the power of family, and he gets to do it all with these fantastical creatures and adventures.
It's the perfect setting for him.
Think about how he uses sound in his films.
Oh, yeah, the sound.
That booming score in Inception or the ticking clock in Dunkirk, making you feel the tension.
Yeah.
Now imagine those sounds used for the ocean in the Odyssey, or the siren songs, luring sailors to their deaths.
That would be amazing.
A whole new world of sound for him to play with, and visually, the Odyssey has so much potential.
I know.
You've got the Cyclops Polyphemus, those beautiful but dangerous sirens, and the nymph Calypso. Will Nolan use CGI to create them, or will he go for practical effects, like he usually does?
He might even invent some new way of filming just to capture them.
He probably will. But the Odyssey isn't just about cool visuals and monsters. At its heart, it's about coming home.
Coming home.
It's about Odysseus fighting to get back to his wife, Penelope, and their son, Telemachus, after being lost for years.
Right.
It's about love, loyalty, and the human spirit, never giving up.
Those are themes that everyone can relate to no matter what time period or setting.
They are. And Nolan is great at adding those deeper layers to even the craziest stories.
He is.
Like the father-daughter relationship in Interstellar, that scene where Cooper sees years of his daughter's life fly by. It was heartbreaking.
It was, yeah. He knows how to make us feel things, even in a big sci-fi movie.
He does. So imagine what he can do with a story like the Odyssey, which is already so full of emotion. Think about when Odysseus finally gets home, disguised as a beggar.
Oh, wow.
The tension when he reveals who he really is to his son.
Yeah.
The joy when they reunite. And how Penelope looks at him, recognizing him after all those years.
Oh, I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
Me too. Those are moments made for Nolan. He could create so much suspense, add those little details that make his characters feel real.
Right, right.
He could make us feel every year Odysseus was gone, every moment Penelope was waiting for him.
He could. It's such a powerful story. And with Nolan directing, it could be truly unforgettable.
Don't forget, this is an adaptation, not a word-for-word retelling.
Right.
Nolan doesn't play it safe. He takes chances, makes us question things, changes things up. So who's to say he won't totally reinvent the Odyssey, maybe set it in the future, or mix it with sci-fi?
Oh, that's interesting. Odysseus, as a space traveler, lost in the galaxy instead of the sea.
Yeah, or Penelope waiting in a futuristic city, hoping against hope that Odysseus will return. The possibilities are kind of endless.
They really are. And that's what makes this so exciting. It's all a mystery.
It is, yeah. It's like we're watching Nolan set sail on a new adventure, and we have no idea where he's going to take us.
We don't. But we're ready for the ride. And the coolest part is we get to watch it all happen. See how he takes those first ideas and turns them into a whole movie.
It really reminds you that even with all the rumors and guessing, the best part is not knowing.
Right.
The excitement of waiting to see how Nolan will surprise us, make us think, and take us somewhere new.
I agree. And while we're waiting for more info, I think it's a good time to go back and check out the original story.
Read the Odyssey.
Yeah. Get lost in it and let those ancient words, spark your own imagination.
Yeah, I love that.
You might even find new things you didn't see before. That's what's so cool about these classic stories. They change as we do. They show us new things as we grow.
So true. As we wrap things up here, we want to leave you with something to think about. Knowing how Nolan loves to twist stories and mess with our minds, how do you think he'll change the Odyssey?
Ooh, good question.
Will he stay true to the main story, or will he take us on a totally different journey, mixing the myth with modern stuff in a way we've never seen? Keep those questions in mind as we wait for more on this film. And remember, it's all about the journey. So keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep into the stories that grab your attention.
I like that. The journey.
Until next time.